All right. So there are few templates for today's Asian and today's Frankfurt and London, of course, sell-off. So I'll show you what I know, what you could have used right now. But let's start with higher time frame. I'll use a different chart for that. What the? Yeah, let's go to daily. I have never mentioned this before, but you could have used this. But now I'm mentioning it, and you can use it now. So usually a structure, right? Higher high, higher high, higher high. But this is on 4 hour, for example, or or on any higher time frame. But what's happening is that in lower time frame, for example, this is, let's say, daily. This is daily on day. Oh, 1D. Then on 4 hour, or even on 1 hour or 2 hours, you will have a, wait, let me do this. Yeah. You will have something called a complex pullback. What does it mean is that when price is at this higher low, price will on lower time frame again. iPhone. Who is that? Okay. Anyway, you can have something like this before breaking up. And yeah, I'll just mute you, bro. Okay. Okay. You'll have something like this on lower time frame. So it would be like this. So this is 1D, the structure, and this is, for example, on 4 hour, and it's a complex pullback. Okay. Why am I saying this? Because this can serve as a good POI. And as you know, we want to buy from 50% or whatever. But what I've found out recently, I don't know who came up with this, maybe ICT, maybe some other guy, but you know, even the retailers use it. They just a premium zone. It's called. My friend showed it to me. He's an algo trader. So you know, you have like 0.618 and 0.786 level, like retail, they call it golden zone or whatever. And it's really good if you don't wanna just trade from, yeah, OTE. Is it from 0.618? I wanted to say it's OTE, but I don't know if it's legit. But I've tested it today, the whole day, and it works like butter. It goes so well. So yeah, POI on higher time frame for possible reversal could be a, oh, that was Jefferson. Okay, could be from this zone. As yeah. So super premium pricing or even imbalance. It doesn't have to be a complex pullback. But why am I saying complex pullback? Because that's literally what's happening today. See, this is 4 hour. We can even go to daily, but let's keep it simple. Yeah, so this would be lower low right here. And so this is the last two structural points, right? On 4 hour. We put our premium pricing, where to sell from. And yeah. And right before breaking this range, we had a pullback. Not on 4 hour, not on lower time frame, it was still on 4 hour, but this was the pullback, right? Golden zone, everything. So everything like played out perfectly. This was my first confluence for today's sell. And yeah. So overall, we know that this zone is gonna be a sell zone, this whole big zone. No, we just refine it. I don't know what it was exactly, but yeah, whatever. No, this is yesterday's price action. I'm not gonna go through that. But we know that, but I'll tell you something. I'll make it easier for you. This is our what? Inducement type 1. I shared it yesterday. IDM Q1. What does it mean? It means external structure, high time frame, 5 minutes or even 15 minutes is a time frame high enough for me to consider it a high time frame. So let's see what it looked like on minutes, 15 minutes. You break this high. Yeah, and we had FBOS. And this tells you pretty much that there's an OB or a POI or even a liquidity point somewhere above. And I think it was this one.
Hello, Milan.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry to take you guys back, but I really didn't get the concept of the golden zone, the 0.618 thing you explained. If probably could explain it again.
It's just a zone where you wanna take trades from. So, for example, yeah, for example here. I'll just draw it. Well, if you want, I'll show you some examples tomorrow. Yeah, it's the number of universe actually. What the hell? So, you know, I always tell you to buy within 50%, right? But in a realistic way, or in the realistic point of view, this is what happens. This would be my 50%, right? Price usually will just react of it, of course, but it is usually just a breaker transfer. And then this is what I call a truly, like, even though this is your premium discount, this is your discount zone, a real discount zone you want to buy from. Do you understand now? Like, it's just a refinement of 50% to a smaller zone and more accurate zone. Yeah, and the complex pullback would just be your confluence, and it works on all time frames, of course. Something like this. Manson? What is he here? Prince?
Yes, sir, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, do you understand?
Yes, please. So I wanted to ask, what are the levels?
This? Oh, 0.16. I'll write it here. 0.7. I don't even remember. 786. Yeah. It's just, I mean, this is just a random number. It can be a bit lower or a bit higher. Okay. Yeah, this is what happens most of the time. So, yeah. That's just some bonus for you if you want to implement it. But okay, for today's London and Frankfurt, London, Asia. So if you have been with me for a longer time, you know that I only use 2 or 3 templates of Asian, and it's nothing complex, right? Because I just want to simplify things. So I either have build up, all right, then then I can have a sweep of liquidity, right? So how do I do this? Yeah, so you have something like this, and then Asian sweeps liquidity, flies, and my day would be bullish. And then I have consolidation, which happened today. Consolidation, and you pretty much expect in what it's called Asian whipsaw, right? Or Judas swing or something like this, ICT, I don't know. So this would be our Asian. Let me just here, this would be our Asian, and also with the build up, what's happening is that price is building up buy side liquidity to sweep sell side liquidity and then reverse as a sell and then reverse. And these are my Asian templates of what I use. But today's there is something more complex, right? So usually, if you know Rame FX or someone like that, Dreams FX or whoever, or or whoever, then they have templates like you have Asian constellation, which would be this. Well, for me, it was a build-up. It was a continuation of New York. So that means this was a buy side liquidity. They have consolidation and then have a mitigation of something below. And then, as the name says, whipsaw, it wants to sweep something above. This one template, there's one more, that this is an inducement, a Frankfurt high and London sweeps. But this is what happened today. Okay, but then you're gonna say it didn't sweep the Asian low. This setup happened within Asian. That's why I don't like these preset setups, because they are not really flexible. So from RAM FX or Dreams FX way of thinking, this would have been a mitigation. I'll just replay it somewhere here. And you see, price build liquidity and left out this POI left, this wick. You can now refine it to 50%, which it topped almost. Yeah, it topped. You couldn't have known that it's gonna be this wick, okay? But I'll show you from with what I've taught you so far, how you could have identified it. Yeah, so pretty much. So this is not a sweep of liquidity. Yeah, it is, but just of internal liquidity. You wanna see a big sweep of of external liquidity or something like this to have a full bullish or bearish day. So what is our confluence now for our daily bias? So I'm just gonna write it down here, text. Yeah. So high time frame, premium zone, high time frame, huge supply. Now, okay, this is just higher time frame. Then you have liquidity build up right above. This was the last money transfer that happened after tapping into some kind of OB here, and price never tapped in there before after. Right? So you have buy side liquidity building up, and then what's gonna indicate you that the day is gonna be bearish, bullish for at the start. So you see, from what I've taught you so far, this would just be a structure. This would be normal algo structure lit, right? Oh, and even here you can see it. Wow, that there was an inducement. IDM 3. So what's happening here? Price made a higher high, higher low, right? So what was the last sell to buy? Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, this is not the one. It's just type 2. It's like just a false continuation on lower time frame. My bad. I thought it's sub internal structure inside of this, but this was the start of the structure because it sold off and then continue it up. Oh, okay. It is actually type 3. Then it sold off here again. Okay. Then it made this a clear inducement. Yeah. And this indicates you that there's a POI right above. In on seconds, for a normal human being, this would just be a shift of trend. So yeah. Oh, let me just do this. And then you find an OB above here, which can be this, for example. If you refine it to seconds, I'm sure it like the last buy to sell happened here, which is like 50% perfect of it. So that is one example of inducement for you. But what's happening here? We have structure again, lower low, lower high, lower low, shift, inducement, first break of structure, FBOS, right here, before, and now you look below, and you could have said, it's this wick, or it's gonna be this imbalance, or even this last sell to buy within buy to sell, this buy to the sell to buy within this buy to sell. So this, if someone trades Asian, this is a way to enter on this, but again, you have liquidity build up right here. Right, so this price was left inefficient most probably. We can check it and check the 50% of it. Yeah, it never filled 50%, and then right after Asian close, during end of Sydney, yeah. During end of Sydney, you are we recording? Yeah. You have this mitigation, and you see price clearly respecting the buy side, the sell side liquidity and buy side order flow, right? So this would be SSL for you. And if you have been with me again for a long time, then you know that when liquidity is in the middle of engineering, it's not gonna be swept. Okay. So what does this tell you? That liquidity is building up right now on sell side, and we are targeting something on buy side. This could have been a first target, and common sense will tell you this high. Buy, sell, buy. So this would just be our inducement high, and plus Asian high. Yeah, Asian range high above here. Yeah. And Frankfurt open. Frankfurt manipulates. Let's see if there's a Frankfurt open manipulation. Okay, first start of Frankfurt was a manipulation itself. 1, 2. Okay, so let's mark all the structure. 1, 2. This is inside internal structure. I don't really care. Lower low. Higher high. Right here. So this would be your internal, and inducement again type 3, right? Internal structure. IDM. And I was calling this an inducement high from the beginning. You can call it inducement high as well. It's just the first sweep, and this indicates you that there's a valid POI inside below this somewhere, and this low is gonna be swept pretty much. And I don't know how long we've been calling, but let's speed it up. So again, you could have bought just by sweeping this, because there's literally nothing below here. You could have even refined it to 50%, but I don't think it ever tapped into it. Is this it? Oh no, buy to sell. Okay, it tapped into it actually. So this was the last buy to sell. Then you just, yeah, like I said, it's like exactly 50%, but you could have just bought here. And from Frankfurt manipulation, POV, even without the knowledge of inducements, or if it's your weakness, then what is your manipulation right here? Second manipulation of Frankfurt, right? Swept liquidity, swept early buyers, which would be the inducement itself. And you can see this by just by just by seeing the BOS, but this was the first BOS, and from our textbook's perspective, you want to buy here. You want to buy of this OB. So there's another confluence for you to have a high win rate with Frankfurt manipulation. Frankfurt manipulation setup. So yeah, after we bought, you could have waited for a break of structure. The real BOS right here. Real BOS right here. What caused it? You can say this order block, or you can say you can even refine it to this wick. and just take mitigations. Nor entered today on this, I think, or someone from the group. Shout out to him. And then again, first trade of the day. Target would be, yeah, this was sub already. So first target and second target Asian high. After sweeping the Asian high, we know that what we are bearish, and after sweeping BSL, that we are just temporarily bullish, just to engineer liquidity. Damn bullish. So this was the last one, but even before sweeping this, there was no inducement. There was one actually here to this OB, but you see, even if we took a sell here, it would have hit stop loss and see price continued higher. And then again, there's no valid entry, no valid liquidity target here except for this high. Or you could have even, this is liquidity, but it doesn't make sense to target this. Then I'm thinking about, yeah. Then you can say, okay, maybe price targeting this IDM. So this could mean your stop loss as well, or your TP as well, if you're scared of missing a break even. Man. No. Yeah, that's the point. I told you yesterday, before that. Wait, what was it? Yeah, that it's not that flexible, you know? If you use this template, you wouldn't have gotten into this. But the template played itself during the the sweep happened during the Asian, which is not really common. But yeah. Wait, who is Ligma? Okay, whatever. So Asian high was swept, and now what do you see? Again, inducement, right? So you take internal structure, higher high, higher high, high low, higher high, lower low, and it even continues lower. So the first break of structure is always a false one. You never wanna take trades from those. And if you do, you'll have a huge stop loss, okay? It's just a free way to refine trades. Of course, sometimes you will miss a trade. For example, catching a trade from imbalance, there will be no inducement. It will just fly through it, inside of it, and then fly away. But you know, better be safe than sorry. So FBOS, then this will become your inducement, and then you sweep this to the right and check for an OB, POI, or whatever. And what do you see? Yeah. Where was it? Yeah. You see, you're still inside of this buy side liquidity. So, and all of this price is efficient already, okay? All of this, like even here, you can see 50% was filled, and it was transferring slowly into like 50% right here. And it was transferring slowly through this, and then continued, which was then swept. So why would price come here, right? There's just this liquidity pool, and then you refine it to the left. And I don't think it tap into this, it just tap into the imbalance. Yeah, it just tap into the imbalance. Even an imbalance can be our POI to trade from, but if you wanna play it safe, then no. Then just wait for a normal supply and demand, and then you can just after the reaction, after the engulfing, you can take 50% of engulfing as your entry. Okay, you couldn't. Okay, you would have missed that one. You just had to market execute this one, or just use this single candle Let's see, this was the last sell to buy before selling out. And yeah, so we just swept all liquidity from late New York. We swept liquidity from Asian high and liquidity, whole buy sell liquidity from pre-London, pre-Frankfurt, all of this. So of course the run is gonna be super fast. And then if you missed this was the second possible entry of the day. If you missed this, then how could you have entered? I'll show you right away. Yeah, I'll draw it so it looks sexy. Buy here was possible, even on mitigation. Yeah, let's make it realistic for some people. Let's do this. Okay. So if you missed the sell, how could you have entered? Okay. So let me remind you of lit or algo structure. Basically, this is a normal structure. Higher high, higher high, higher high. And then an algo structure would be, very well. We have 10 minutes left. Okay, this. All right. So what does it tell you? That this sell to buy broke this range and then it becomes S&P. Right? This is the last supply, usual supply or demand. And then this would be an S&P as well. Okay, let me do this. And this becomes inducement. And this becomes your lit point. Okay. So save it, 1, 2, 3. And look what happened here. You have to pay attention to small details, okay? So before price breaking this, price retraced back and make this supply. And then this broke the structure, right? So of course, this was a possible entry. On sweep of this, just enter. Stop loss can be on the high, because if price wasn't this volatile at that time, it would normally just come back and try to mitigate a 50%. So that will happen maybe in the future. We'll see a reaction of this. Yeah. So it's the same template as this one, just the sweep happened during the Asian, yeah, like this. Normally it's after the Asian, Frankfurt and London. But it was faster today, everything. We have Asian high taken, and we just go with the flow. So let's see if there were any entries possible here. And I don't think there was many. You know, you could have just jumped into any of these mitigations, but it's really risky. But again, same as this and as this, when price is building something, for this instance, it would be building of Asian of sell side liquidity, of buy side liquidity. Then it has to sweep sell side from somewhere before. But you can't tell this in real time whether it's gonna be this and price reverses back into the extreme and then continues or not. So that's why I'm saying these sells are not really probable. And then we had London. The whole London for me would be a big no-no to trade. Yeah, let's see. Price failed to break this. Okay, price is super efficient here, right? So this is independent pricing. This whole bunch has nothing to do with this anymore. So we can start taking trades from here and target something potentially lower For example, this, or even, yeah, so this was my target. This was 1 hour imbalance. Well, yeah, let's see if there was any possible entry. Okay, let's look at inefficient price action. So on 1 minute, you can say that there's this. We have 5 minutes left. There's this was efficient, and there is this, right? But again, IPA and EPA has time correlation, same as structure and liquidity or whatever. So the whole market, literally the whole market is fractal. Okay, so what does this tell you? You see there's a buy to sell here. There's the buy to sell within the buy to sell, and then there's this one. So when this happens, I've mentioned this in many times in our last calls, but if you have this, and even if you have IPA inside of this, or this, the whole price action is efficient on higher time frame. So on lower time frame, there would be like imbalance here. On higher time frame, oh no, here. On higher time frame, the only imbalance would be here between the last buy to sell and again the second buy to sell. So what does this tell you? Is that the only imbalance on higher time frame is inside of this. Most probably, and if you go to 5 minutes, we'll confirm it. Oh my god. Yeah, there's this little hole right here. And then another IPA could be this week as the last release of this week. Wow, we have 10 people here. Oh. Okay.
1 p.m.
I'll just mute you for now, bro. And if you wanna ask something, we'll talk about it after. So you see the last imbalance was here, and potentially in those weeks later on, because wicks are money basically, and 50% of wicks are like magic, you know. So let's do this just for a good measure. Yeah, perfect. 50% of this, easy. Price tap into it, made a lit point. Oh, lit point, and continue down. So the whole London today was without manipulation, except for this guy. Still in the London kill zone. It's like 2 to 3 hours after the opening. So it's like this to 11, or even like this, 2 to 3 hours, right? And now price comes back, fills the higher time frame imbalance. I don't think this entry will be possible. I mean, every entry is possible, but not really the safest one. Yeah, you have inducement inside of it, but yeah, this would be your IDM, as this would be a fake break of structure. FBOS, and then you would have to look at the left to check what does price want to mitigate, and act accordingly. So it could have been this guy again on higher time frame. On lower time frame, there's imbalance here. Yeah, even on higher time frame actually. So this was the last interaction with the imbalance, and price has mitigated it. And if you want to scalp, if you want to ping pong, learn how to ping pong, then you just wait for engulfing or break a structure, just to make sure in future you can do some fancy trades, but not now. If you're a newcomer from SMC, this would be 50%. You can take 50% of the imbalance and just take a buy from that. Stop loss below the low. This is what I would do. You can even put this here if you want to play it risky, because still there's this guy to be filled in future, and price could come here anytime. So yeah. Oh, so this, if you wanted to ping pong, this was the possible buy, and again target the lid. You will have 1 to 3, or even target the IPA 1 to 4. Beautiful. So I'll just refresh the call and just join again. Okay. Oh, okay. The what?